Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be a comparison video of Tyson Gay and Asafa Powell, two of the best sprinters in the world and two of the most consistent sprinters in the world. Asafa Powell is 37 and Tyson Gay is 38, so they've been able to do this for a long period of time. This video was taken a few years ago, back in 2007. Really interesting race. Shows a Asafa Powell come out with an excellent start, and then Tyson Gay catch him at the end and is able to actually win the race. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and hop into the video. As always, if you like the information here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. And if you have any recommendations or anything like that, you can leave that in the comments down below. We'll get started now. So we're really going to spotlight here Tyson Gay and Asafa Powell, and the big thing that stood out again was just the amazing, and Asafa Powell is known for this and having an excellent start, and it really always stands out to me how good he does it, really exploding through with those hips and driving that spine up. I know that's something I've been focusing on a lot as a sprinter, to be able to get better at that. He is 6'3", and so being able to really get his spine all the way up and through and his hips all the way through is such a huge advantage. And I think that's something that is not talked about enough, is the first movement within the start and being able to really have a big adjustment in the spine positioning. A lot of these other guys stay really low with their spine, and even Tyson Gay is somebody that stays pretty low with his spine as he's first starting. And then, it's not like Asafa Powell goes and really stands up. He just gets that first initial movement, has a lot of power there, and then is able to, from that position, really move his feet very quickly, which it puts him in a huge advantage as he starts. You can see right here, he's definitely in the top two in terms of guys that are ahead in the race. Even as he gets going a little bit more, I think he really solidifies himself as being out in front. Misconception would be is that when you're taller, you have a little bit harder time with your start and a better time with your top end speed. At least that's how it is for like Usain Bolt, where Asafa Powell seems to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, where he's taller, has a better start than Tyson Gay, I want to say is 5'10", look that up real quick, 5'11" is Tyson Gay. And so they have a 4-inch difference in terms of height. Tyson Gay doesn't have as good of a start as Asafa Powell, but has a better finish. So it's kind of a misconception that ends up being a thing. And when we go into better seeing, you see how he ends up catching him at the end. We'll go in and show you how that ended up happening here. So once he gets going, what happens is, if we really slow this down, you can see Tyson Gay is just getting a lot faster overall turnover, right? So his legs, look at how Asafa Powell's legs and their speed in comparison to Tyson Gay and the speed of Tyson Gay. So look at how fast his legs are turning over there, which really makes it so he's able to separate. It almost looks like Asafa Powell's running in slow motion in comparison to Tyson Gay and how fast his legs are cycling through on each one of these steps. And he does a great job. They really both do a great job of being able to get good extension during the push off, driving the knee up and through, getting full extension out in front. Tyson Gay just does a really good job of getting faster turnover. His legs are just moving a lot faster than really any of the other guys that he's going up against. That's something that, to me, from a 6 foot and under perspective, if you're watching this video and want to figure out how to run sub 10, you got to be able to work on your turnover. You got to be able to maximize how well you can do that. And then I also would say maximize your vertical force. Look at how, when he pushes off, how much vertical force Tyson Gay gets, and makes it so then he could cycle back through, and he lands with his legs basically straight. He's a little bit in a bent position, but immediately straightens his legs out and is able to push off. So he has a very limited contact time and a very fast turnover time, and that's what makes it so he's able to run so fast, is he just is so efficient in the actual movement pattern, which really ends up being a huge benefit for him. Now let's look at the start and Asafa Powell and what he did really good in the start. Again, you can see the difference of the spine position. Tyson Gay would probably benefit from staying a little bit lower, just because, again, of the difference of the height. He doesn't need to get that center of gravity as high as fast. On the other hand, Asafa Powell does need to definitely get himself up. So I'd say that'd be a big thing for somebody that is maybe 6'2" and taller here watching this video. When you start, you want to be able to get that center of mass risen up a little bit to make it so then you could really get that really quick turnover when you're starting out the race. And that's what stands out to me with his first few steps, is he's doing a great job staying very forward. He stays really high up on his toes. Look at this first step, really first 2 steps, how high Asafa Powell is on his toes. right? Those heels aren't even like close to the ground, so that he's able to stay in a great shin angle. As he gets going, he ends up getting up a little bit, and now his heels are getting closer to the ground, but he's still not wasting very much overall motion there in each one of those steps, and really keeping himself downwards. I mean, it's not like because he started off with that first step and getting his spine high that made him say he rose up, and now he's in a position where, you know, he's about at the same type of spine angle, spine positioning as Tyson Gay, and, you know, is able to really work on that turnover. And I think that's what set him up in really a great position to be able to win this race. You know, he just wasn't able to finish it on the back end, and we went over a little bit more on how that happened. And then, you know, there's a big misconception that I wanted to address here as well to kind of finish up the video, is that I hear and see a lot of people that talk about how you want to be relaxed when you're running at your top end speed. And I do think that there's a degree of relaxation that comes into it. I think there's people that could have a lot more success if they're more relaxed when they're sprinting. But I don't want you to think that you just have to be relaxed in order to run fast, or you just have to be tense in order to run fast. You want to be able to find something that is unique to you. When you watch Tyson Gay here and him running, you could definitely see he is straining a lot. Look at his neck. Look at how it doesn't even look like he's really breathing at all. You can see how overall flexed his forehead is, his eyes are. You know, he's definitely not in a position where he's just nice and relaxed and you know, smooth. He's very, very tense during the run, and I find in my own individual running that it helps me out to be a little bit more tense. It doesn't help me to be smooth and relaxed. I don't have that ability, and I think Usain Bolt is somebody that does benefit from being more smooth and relaxed. But just because he is able to do that doesn't mean everybody is going to be able to do that. Again, Tyson Gay, I mean, he ran the second fastest time, you know, ever that we recorded, and, you know, he's very, very tense. And there's a lot of guys, Justin Gatlin's another guy that is really tense when he's running. And, you know, so I don't want you to think that you just have to be relaxed. I think, you know, there are people that need to be able to relax more, and then I do think there's people that need to tense up a little bit more when they're running and get that better overall muscle tensegrity to make it so they're a little bit more springy. And by tensing the muscles up, they can make themselves get a little bit more springy and get that faster turnover. So you know, that ends up being, I would say that Asafa Powell was, you know, more relaxed, and that's why he ended up beating him. But it looked like he was pretty tense the whole time too. So, you know, another guy that ran sub 10 and was pretty tense the entire time with his face. So the point being is that you don't have to be relaxed in order to run fast, and you don't have to be tense in order to run fast. You just have to understand what works best for you, and that's what I would challenge you to do, is to really understand what works in when you're trying to run as fast as you can, and just do that. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. Hope this helps. And this was a super, super entertaining race. You can go and easily find it online if you wanted to watch it all, you know, 100% speed or whatever. We always have trouble with doing that just because YouTube copyright stuff. So I unfortunately can't always show it in full speed here, but you could definitely look it up online and find that video. And if you have any questions for us, you could reach out to us down below by clicking one of the links. We do have a free speed mechanics webinar happening later on today, so if you want to check that out, you always can. And as always, thanks for watching these videos, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.